Shalom. All praises to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahashem Rakakwadash. Peace, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this truth. So Brother Kalaba from the DC camp, here to push this word once again. Let's make sure I'm recording. Damn. That should be good. Alright, just making sure, I'm gonna keep checking in and make sure I'm recording, new computer and whatever. But anyways, through the spirit, I was doing just watching, random little YouTube videos, and you know how you come across certain things every now and then. And so I was looking at this. As you see, it's a lady. That's a lady speaking on her testimony of being like a Freemason or whatever. And basically, what really stood out to me was, and as you know, there's a fraternal group. They have the writings right here: Freemasonry, the teachings and practices of the secret fraternal order of free and acceptable Masons. All right, so they really don't explain what it is, but bear with me one moment. Anyways, I was looking at it, and I do a lot of, you could say, research on things like this. But obviously, like the Elder Ariala, he made a video on it recently. He said that you got to balance out what you take in. You got to balance out the negative and the positive. And as we know, this is knowledge on the basically on the left hand side, all the wickedness and the shit they do. So obviously, you can't sit here and look at stuff like this all day, because it'll bug someone out. But I was looking at it just for a little bit, and somewhere around throughout the video, like right around here, probably somewhere around here, I haven't watched it again today, this was the other day. She basically speaks on, she basically, and you can believe it or you don't, but she's basically saying that she was a survivor of a Freemason kidnapping, basically. And you can doubt it or not, but I believe it, because I don't see why someone would waste and dedicate a whole YouTube channel to shit like this when it just doesn't make any sense. But she basically says that she's a survivor of being kidnapped and had rituals performed on her and stuff like this. Now, like I said, whether you believe it or not, what really stuck out to me during this part made my ears go up when I was listening. Like I said, around here, I think she basically speaks on how they put a microchip in her. She speaks on how that during one of the rituals, she was taken to a doctor's office, and they put a microchip in her skin. She said, she explained it as a needle. Let me see if I can find it actually.
In my left forearm.
Right on point.
Being cleaned up, the doctor put something in my arm. It's a microchip, and I remember what it looks like. I remember the syringe and everything. It was a clear tube with a circular head, a wire attached to a microchip. It's in my left forearm. When they put this in, they put a Band-Aid on it. And it was then from that room where the doctor cleaned me up that I was then taken into the other room.
Now, like I said, you don't gotta watch it, but I just wanted to point that out. And I didn't really have any specific topic that I wanted to go into. I just wanted to point that out, how, as we know, obviously the microchip is the mark of the beast. The microchip undoubtedly is the mark of the beast, and that's something that they're going to push. They're going to push soon, but they're not going to force it. They're going to make it seem like it's something that you want to get, that you need. But I do believe that in certain cases, like females like this and other people, that they basically could have put it in them, forcefully. People like these special cases, you could say, because this is real. Whether you believe it or not, the world is run basically by Satanists. All the presidents that have ever been, all of them, and if they haven't, then they've been like Jesuits or something. But majority of them have been Freemasons, and no one knows much about the Freemasons. I just believe that it's evil and satanic, and there's proof saying otherwise. There's proof saying that it is. But you can think what you want, but either way, they're not good. There was a video on Hillary Clinton put out a while ago on how she basically, it's called Snuffle, I believe it's on the dark net, and it's in the video. She can be seen, her along with her secretary, basically having sex with a little 12-year-old girl, and they're all women, so that can already tell you, how wicked that is. So that's a video that's out there. But they're the so-called leaders of the world, all right, and a lot of them are Freemasons. So just something don't add up. It's not good. But as you can see, they say they put a microchip in her, and that just, when I heard that just further led me to believe that the microchip is the mark of the beast. Because if they're putting it in people whom they're doing all their experiments on and whatnot, then they can go to tell you that it's something that they do that they really need to push, and that they're pushing it secretively in certain cases like her, but it's soon going to be made to the masses, and she's an Edomite, she's an Edomite. If she really has that chip, then she's doomed for destruction. The Lord's not dealing with her, but she served her role in putting out this information, and when you listen to the story, it's clear that she's an Edomite. But like I said, I didn't really have any specific topic for this. It was just something I was looking at and viewing, and it was just funny how it stood out to me on how she spoke on getting that chip in her. But something else I wanted to focus on too, a little change up, is that if you do look at stuff like this, of course we know that this world is run by evil, and quiet. Of course we know this world is run by evil, and there's a lot of wickedness that goes on, and brothers may know about it. I really just wanted to say a few words on something that I used to deal with, on how basically, obviously, like I brought out in the beginning, you got to balance your time and how much you look at stuff like this, because it's not good to flood your mind with all this negative and demonic info that these people do. Even in her videos, she talks about crazy stuff. You can't just sit here and listen to stuff like this all day, because it'll bug you out and it'll take you further away from the spirit. Because I had noticed when I, upon like first coming into this, I would look up stuff dealing with MK Ultra, dealing with the celebrities and their blood sacrifices and whatnot, and it scared me in the flesh a little bit. And I would be getting scared. I'll be getting weary at night, feeling certain things, thinking that demons are gonna keep messing with me, and that was because really I didn't have a balance in looking at all this stuff. So I wanted to just share that with you, Akim, that you gotta have a balance in looking at certain things like this, all right, because it'll bug you out. And ultimately, the scriptures say in Jeremiah, or is it Timothy? Yeah, Timothy, 2 Timothy 2. So like 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, for the Most High have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Alright, so the Lord hasn't given us a spirit of fear towards men. We're supposed to have fear towards Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because the scriptures say that. Don't fear who can destroy flesh and bone, but who can destroy spirit. Roughly paraphrasing. Alright, so we're not supposed to have fear towards men and all them, and all the stuff that they do. And that was kind of tripping me out a little bit, because I was listening to certain things on how they do demonic, satanic rituals and sacrifices and a whole bunch of weird sexual acts, sex magic, and it scared my flesh, man. I was getting creeped out basically, and that was because I didn't have a balance in looking at stuff, learning about knowledge on the left hand side. Alright, because you gotta be more focused on the knowledge on the right hand side. Alright, you gotta be more focused about this book, this truth, the knowledge of our forefathers, Job 8 and 8. You gotta be more focused on stuff like this, and you can learn, you can read and listen to stuff like this here and there. But you can't focus and look at it a lot just because you might be new to finding it out. Like I was new to finding it out, and it piqued my interest. But you gotta balance out your time when you do stuff like that. You know, because I'd hear about all the curses and stuff they put up against us, and how the elites, they be trying to put curses up against Israel and stuff. Just certain stuff when you're young, and I'm still young, but through the Spirit I overcame this. But there's certain stuff like that, it can bug you out, man. But ultimately, you got to realize that the Lord protects us from all these demons. The scriptures say there's no enchantment against Jacob. All right, so they can't do anything that the Lord doesn't want to happen. All right, and the Lord is a buckler to us from all these demons. All right, that they cast, that everybody has walking around on them. All right, because there's a lot of Freemasons in the world. Like I said, all the presidents are Freemasons, even low-level people. To make a couple hundred thousands. I remember I had a teacher in a computer class that was a Freemason, and a lot of them don't know what they're getting into until it's already too late. All right, but a lot of these people, they got demons on them. They conjure up demons. In this video, she says that they were conjuring up demons, and stuff like that can scare you. But you gotta always come back to the scriptures, and you gotta realize that the only time a demon's gonna mess with you is if the Lord allows it. And especially when you're first coming into this truth, you may get little sleep paralysis, or certain things might happen to you involving demons. But that's the Lord testing your faith. Because the scriptures say the Lord will not put you through too much. He will not put you through what you can't bear. Alright? But so you gotta always go back to the scriptures and realize that if that stuff like that does happen to you, it's the Lord testing you. Alright, and other than that, demons can't mess with us. They can't hop inside us. Alright, because of this, Psalms 18:2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, in my high tower. Alright? Let me read that again, Salakia. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. So the Lord is our buckler, man. The buckler means shield, alright? He's our strength. He's who we trust in. Alright, so if demons or nothing like that, they can't mess with you, man. Once you come into this truth, they only can mess with you if the Lord allows it, alright? Satan can only put his little demons on you, well, not on you, but that can fuck with you if the Lord allows it, man. Because you got a different belief contrary to how it actually is. You got people that think Satan is on earth and doing as he pleases, and he warred against the Heavenly Father, and now he's on earth, stuff like that. That's not how it works, man. The Lord, first of all, the Lord is not stupid, and he's almighty, Yahweh. He's almighty for a reason. Alright? He would not create a being in which can defy him. That doesn't make any sense. Even the Edomites are not defying the Lord. They think they are, because the Lord gives them the thought that they are. That's why they're going to wage war against the Lord, against the chariots, the angels, but they're really not. So the Lord has never created a being that can defy him. Alright, Satan is a angel of the Lord, but on the left hand side. You got angels on the left hand side that do the wicked deeds, and angels on the right hand side. Alright, well, matter of fact, let me get Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, just all caps talking about Yahweh, do all these things. But you gotta ask yourself, the scriptures say, let me see if I can find it. Really forget how it goes. Slovakia. Slovakia, 1 second. having trouble finding it. It basically says how the Lord doesn't do anything, like personally. But I really forget how it goes. That's not it. I really forget how it goes. Um, but if I can't find it, it's all good. We know that the Lord works. The Lord works by His angels. The scriptures say the Lord is too big to fit into earth. I know that the scriptures say the Lord is too big to fit in the earth. That the earth is His footstool. So the Lord doesn't come down here and personally do anything. He has angels. And we read in Isaiah 45:7 that the Lord, He creates evil and He creates wicked. He creates evil, which evil means bad time, and He creates good. He creates good times. So the Lord brings destruction and He brings peaceful times. Um, but that being said, how He does all that is by His angels. The Lord has angels on the left hand side, and He has angels on the right hand side. And the chief angel on the left hand side will be Satan, or Shaitan in Hebrew. And he does the work of the Lord, the bidding of the Lord. As you read in Job, Shaitan basically made a bet with the Lord if he could basically bring Job hell, and if Job would curse the Lord, if Job would turn against the Lord once he did that. And the Lord said no, he wouldn't. Go ahead and test him. All right, so the Lord, Satan has to get the okay from the Lord to do anything that he does. All right, and that includes all the other demons. So you got to realize that the misconception that Satan is warring against the Heavenly Father, that's not true. Satan is, like I said, Satan's an angel of the Lord. All right. So with that being said, we are protected. Once we come into this truth, we get rid of the old man and all those demons and stuff. They hop out of us. They get out of us. And then now we have a buckler around us, a shield around us. We got angels encamping around about us. You can't see it, but there's a spiritual world. All right, we got angels encamping around about us that protect us from this demonic activity everywhere we go. Because majority of the people we go are demonic, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these people are demonic, man. A lot of these, there is no true justice in this system. All right, this whole world is evil. But like I said, we got to look towards the light at the end of the road. All right, that this place is going to be destroyed and all this works with it. We got to look towards that light. And that's really what I wanted to touch on. Aside from her speaking on the microchip, is that balance your time when you look at stuff like this. When you look at shit, all this left hand knowledge, just balance your time. When you hear about disasters and all these killings and shit, balance your time. Because if not, then your flesh will slowly start to ease up on you. Because this is, and at least it wasn't me. This was curious. Like, what's the word? This was make sure I'm still recording. This was I can't think of the word, man. It was it was interesting to my flesh, like to learn about stuff like this, which I never knew before. To look at how to hear about all the shit that goes on in Hollywood. It was interesting to me because I never thought it could be true, and I never really thought about it. So it was interesting to me. All right, but what's interesting to your flesh, what's good to your flesh, is not always good to your spirit. So you gotta always balance out your time. All right, and then if you do have those doubts in your head, those demons creeping in, always revert back to the scriptures. The ones I got. We don't have the fear towards man. All right, the Lord is our shield. All right, also Jeremiah 10:2, a new one I like recently. Been reading it. It says, "But the Lord is the true power. He is the living power." All right, and the reason I say power is because God in the Hebrew is Allah. When you go into the word, God in the Hebrew is Allah, and Allah simply means power. All right, because you got multiple powers. Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, you could call him a power. His sons on the earth, and the physical manifestation of Satan, which would be you so-called white people, you Edomites. All right, and the elite bankers of the Edomites, they are a power. They are powers over the earth right now. They rule the earth. Alright, but check out what it says about our power. Alright, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. It says, but the Lord is the true power. The Lord is the true power. He is the living power and an everlasting king. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Alright, so you always got to revert back to scriptures like this, because we know that we have the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai on our side, and he is the only true power. Alright, he is the almighty, he is the living power, man. So with him, who can do us harm, you know? Who can win against this? You know, it's looking up that word true. It says Amath. Oh yeah, Amath, man. So he is the true power, man. He is the only living power. All these people all these Freemasons, all these goddamn Satanists around the world, all these people who they worship, Baphomet and all these different guys, they're not true. They're not living. They're not alive. You know, our power is alive. Alright? Our power is real. But you know, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to touch on those two things. Lord's Will was an edifying video. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.